Hello everyone, and welcome back to English Flow Academy. Have you ever noticed that some English speakers sound incredibly natural even when they use simple words? They don't necessarily use difficult vocabulary. They don't speak extremely fast, but somehow their English just flows. One reason is that native speakers don't always think in individual words. They connect words, ideas, sounds, and expressions together. And today, we're going to discover 5 hidden English connections that can make your English sound more natural and help you speak with greater confidence. These connections are simple, but once you start noticing them, you'll hear them everywhere. So, let's get started. Connection number 1, words that naturally go together. The first hidden connection is called a word combination or a collocation. A collocation is a group of words that naturally appear together. For example, native speakers say, make a decision. Not usually, do a decision. They say, take a break. Not, make a break. They say, heavy rain. Not, strong rain. The interesting thing is that you may know every word individually, but knowing the words isn't enough. You need to know which words naturally belong together. So instead of memorizing the word decision, learn make a decision. Instead of learning break, learn take a break. Instead of learning mistake, learn make a mistake. This changes the way your brain produces English. You're no longer searching for individual words. You're remembering ready-made combinations. And that's one of the secrets behind natural English. Connection number 2, words change when we speak. The second connection is between words and sounds. When native speakers talk naturally, they don't pronounce every word separately. Words connect. For example, what are you doing? In natural speech, this can sound more like, what are you doing? Another example, did you eat? In fast natural speech, you may hear something closer to, did ya eat? And I want to often sounds like, I wanna. This doesn't mean you should use informal forms everywhere. The important lesson is that spoken English is different from textbook English. If you only study individual words, native speech can sound extremely fast. But when you understand how words connect, listening becomes easier. And here's a simple practice. Choose one sentence. What are you gonna do? Say it slowly. What /you, /going/ to /do? Now gradually connect the sounds. What are you gonna do? Repeat it several times. You're training your ears and your mouth to recognize English as connected speech. Connection number 3, learn phrases, not just words. The third connection is between words and situations. Imagine you learn the word sure. You know its meaning, but native speakers use it in many different situations. Someone asks, can you help me? You can say sure. Someone says, are you sure? You can answer, yeah, I'm sure. Someone asks, would you like some coffee? You might say, sure, why not? The word itself is simple, but the real power comes from learning how it behaves in different situations. So when you learn a new word, don't just ask, what does this word mean? Ask, how do native speakers actually use this word? Find 2 or 3 real sentences. Learn the phrase, learn the situation. Learn the feeling behind it. That's how vocabulary becomes active. Connection. Number 4, small words can make you sound natural. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked parts of English. Small words, words like actually, really, well, just, pretty, kind of. You know, these words may seem unimportant because they don't always add a major meaning to a sentence, but they can completely change the way your English sounds. Compare, I don't like it, with, well, I don't really like it. The second sentence sounds softer and more conversational. Or compare, it's difficult, with, it's actually pretty difficult. That sounds more natural in everyday conversation. These small words are like the rhythm and seasoning of spoken English. You don't need to use them in every sentence, but learning how native speakers use them can make your speech sound much less robotic. So start listening for these little words. When you hear a native speaker say, well, or actually, or, pay attention. Don't only listen to the important vocabulary. Listen to the small connections between ideas. Connection number 5, English has patterns. The 5th connection may be the most powerful. Native speakers often rely on patterns. For example, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. This is a pattern. Once you learn it, you can create many new sentences. The more you listen, the more you understand. The more you speak, the more confident you become. The more you read, the more vocabulary you learn. You don't have to build every sentence from zero. You can take a pattern you already know and put new information inside it. Here's another useful pattern. I'm not used to. For example, I'm not used to speaking English. I'm not used to waking up early. I'm not used to working at night. Or, I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to learning more. These patterns are incredibly useful because they allow you to speak faster. You're not inventing English every time. You're using structures your brain already knows. How to practice. These 5 connections. Now, how can you actually use these ideas? Here's a simple daily exercise. Take just 10 minutes a day. For the first 2 minutes, choose 5 common collocations. For example, make a decision, take a break, make a mistake, catch a bus, have a conversation, say each one several times, and then create a sentence. For the next 2 minutes, practice connected speech. Choose sentences from movies, podcasts, or videos. Listen carefully, then repeat exactly what you hear. Don't just copy the words, copy the rhythm and the way the sounds connect. For the next 2 minutes, choose one common word and learn it in different situations. For example, actually, create 3 different sentences with it, then spend 2 minutes practicing small conversational words. Try, well, actually, really, Finally, spend the last 2 minutes practicing useful sentence patterns. Choose one pattern and create 5 different sentences. Do this every day. And after a few weeks, you'll notice something interesting. You won't just know more English, you'll start using English differently. The secret is not more words. Many learners believe that speaking like a native means learning thousands of difficult words, but that's not necessarily true. Imagine someone knows 10,000 English words but always speaks in isolated sentences. Now, imagine another person knows 3,000 words but knows exactly how to connect them naturally. Who sounds more fluent? Often, it's the second person. Because fluency isn't only about vocabulary, it's about connections. Connecting words, connecting sounds, connecting phrases to situations, connecting small expressions to emotions, and connecting ideas through patterns. That's what makes English flow. Final challenge. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, don't try to memorize hundreds of new words. Instead, collect 5 useful English connections every day. A collocation, a connected speech example, a useful phrase, a conversational expression, and a sentence pattern. Write them down, say them out loud, use them in your own sentences, and most importantly, listen for them when native speakers talk. Because once you start seeing these connections, English begins to feel less like a collection of separate words and more like a system that naturally fits together. And that's when your speaking can begin to change. You stop searching for every individual word. You start remembering phrases, you recognize patterns, you hear connected sounds, and little by little, your English starts to flow. Thank you so much for watching English Flow Academy. If you enjoyed this lesson and found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more practical English speaking lessons. And I'd love to know your opinion. Which of these 5 English connections was most useful for you? Tell me in the comments below. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep flowing in English. See you in the next lesson.